I Can Relate is brought to you by Lee Summit Cares.
Lee Summit Cares is a local nonprofit led by an advisory board of local teens focusing on helping youth develop positive relationships
and creating a culture of physical and mental wellness in the community.
Hi, I'm Carson Jones.
How you doing? I'm Charles Parker.
Hello, my name is Hayden Peters.
I am Maiva Onyema.
Hello, my name is Lily.
Hello everyone, welcome back to I Can Relate. My name is Hayden Peters, and we're starting off by talking about self-image, like your perception of yourself. And first I just want to bring to the table a story about when I first started to care about what people thought of me really. I feel like everybody kind of has a certain amount that they care about how they present themselves and what people think about them, but I think a lot of times for people in high school, it kind of ramps up and it becomes a really important part of how we present ourselves is how we think or how we want other people to see us. So when TikTok and everything kind of got to be the place where trends were made during COVID, I started to notice all the diet trends. There's whipped coffee and avocado toast and stuff like that, and there were also workout routines everywhere. So every morning I would wake up, I would run at 5 a.m. and I wouldn't stop until I ran 2 miles, and then I would run again in the evening, and I'd run for a mile at after dinner time. And that was something that I did only because I knew that people couldn't see me other than how they saw me on social media. And I wanted to make sure that if you saw me on social media, I looked skinny and athletic and I was following all the trends, all the diet workout trends. And I've come to learn that that's kind of dumb and stupid as I've matured, but I think that's something that really changed my outlook on trends and how I let other people influence me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I also relate because during COVID I did
Name drop.
Oh, Maiva Onyema, I also did the whipped coffee thing just because I saw everyone else doing it. I made cloud bread, which was the biggest waste of my time ever. And then Chloe Ting workouts were trending at the time, and I saw the 14-day ab workout, get an ab and stuff. That was the first time I actually worked out. Obviously, we saw no results, and I kind of just gave up. And in the beginning, going into COVID, I really started critiquing everything I was wearing, and every trend that came, I wanted to be a part of it. And then after a point, I realized I wasted so much money on getting new stuff just to fit in with the trend that lasted 2 days. And after that, I kind of just stuck to my own stuff.
I feel like I was late to the TikTok. Oh, hi guys, my name is Carson Jones. Yeah, I feel like I was late to the TikTok wave. For some reason, when somebody says something's cool, I never really want it. I've never got Be Real, whatever. But with TikTok, me watching it, I would see everybody, and then I would sometimes you look at the comments, and then it really just brought in my view on what this might be weird, but what girls find attractive or what guys find attractive. You guys get what I'm saying? Oh, this guy's hot, but then other guys have a speech impairment. Please don't make fun of me. And then other comment section, they'll be oh, this is weird. This is so weird. But when another guy does, it's cool though. So yeah, that's what TikTok has done to me. I was just makes me think more about my.
It makes it easier to project your opinion onto somebody.
The double standards of TikTok was just crazy because I'm seeing people cancel people over stuff. High and well, you've probably done that before. But just because they're out on social media doing it publicly, you just bandwagon and see everyone else complaining about it, so you just do it too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. My name's Lily. I only got social media about 2.5 years ago. So I've never really understood trends before because I was really behind on them. So, when I actually got, Twitter and then, TikTok and stuff, it was really weird to see, how fast trends, pop up, become really popular, and then just disappear. and people are constantly trying to make themselves appear different or adhere to a certain standard of the trends, and it's really weird.
So I've never been one for social media stuff. I didn't hop onto the short format stuff until years after TikTok got big, and even then it was YouTube Shorts. Didn't even use my account for YouTube, never cared to sign in, but I've just been viewing YouTube Shorts constantly, and you know what? As much as there is the bad stuff on there, the preachiness, the double standards, the over opinionated, the alpha male, sigma male bull crap, which both don't exist. I will go into a rant about that, but my point is there's also some really clever, really funny type stuff, really dumb humor that I love to see. I think I have a friend who I walk to the bus with sometimes. We're always like ranting about something together. And one day we decided to talk about recently one politician had wanted to ban TikTok like entirely from the country. And my friend absolutely despises TikTok. Like, black and white, TikTok sucks. And that used to be my opinion, but the point I was making that entire time was that it's not that simple. Right? On TikTok, there's stuff like the Doubloons game, which I'm sure you all know of. My cousins told me about it a while back. It seemed really fascinating. Kind of made me want to download TikTok just because it sounded cool. And then there are other stuff. There's this amazing music people make on it. It's not just the thirst traps, the dances, and not only that, but it's important that it remains, because if we do ban TikTok from the entire country, all else will follow, right?
I do think that that's an interesting point to make, because honestly, a lot of people in our age group are coming to the understanding that, you know, TikTok may not be the healthiest habit to have, you know, spending hours a day on the screen. And some people are even starting to realize that it targets consumers. Those trends that you mentioned that kind of speak to how humans kind of fixate on one thing, and then the next time there's something new and bright and shiny, we shift our attention to that, and we just kind of move on and on and on. And I think social media, in one aspect like TikTok, you just get things constantly. Like, you could scroll and there's something brand new to fixate on for a while, and then the second you get bored, there's another thing. And I think that's one thing. But I honestly, as much of a hater of TikTok as I am, I agree that there's no such thing as just taking it away and ending it all and like fixing the issue, because even the internet as a whole, I think you could say that the issue is not stopping it. The issue is learning to work with it and use it in a healthy way.
Adapt.
I would like to also agree with Charlie. Like, the way he said, like, people, like, post music and stuff on it all the time. People would personally say, like, if you ride with a car with me, my music taste is basically TikTok. Like, all my songs, like, a lot of my songs I find it on TikTok. And, like, but, like, the underground artists, not, like, mainstream, like, underground. And, like, they're, like, cool. And, like, I feel like they wouldn't get, like, the outreach they would have if they didn't have TikTok, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like aside from just the creativity aspect, there's also, like, different conversations about actually important matters that happen on TikTok, where whether it's informational videos from people who actually know what they're talking about, or just starting a conversation about important things, it gets to a large audience all across the world. So it's not just dependent on the country. But it's like that with several other forms of media, where it connects people throughout the entire world.
Because of the attention span most of us now have because of TikTok, short format informational videos are really good for establishing things we need to know. Instead of going into a long rant about the history behind this topic and why it's important, you can just list the facts, why it's important, in less than 60 seconds, and people will get it. Not only will they get it, it'll stick with them for a while. And that's important.
Yeah, like for me, like some recent, like I guess like stuff I've picked up on and want to learn more from is because of those like 60-second TikToks. Like they give me all like the main facts, and if I'm interested enough, I go do my own research on it. And like recently, I've kind of been getting into like climate change just because I saw like multiple videos about it coming up. But like I knew I couldn't just trust TikTok because some of the information is not always going to be true. So you got to like take it into your own hands and like go do the other stuff yourself. You can't always just rely on social media.
I recently learned a really cool fact on YouTube Shorts via a London historical YouTuber about how human rights and the principle of habeas corpus was created because of a fat joke.
See, now as a journalist here, I have to agree and also disagree. Play devil's advocate a little bit. I think one of the scariest things about this, like, short form information you're talking about, I do think it could be useful in some ways. But, just like you mentioned, it is not okay for people to think that TikTok is is the main source of information, because so much can get miscommunicated, twisted, just completely kind of not shown in a correct light. I think that a lot of news, there's like obviously a really good an increase in people in our age group becoming aware of what's going on in the world because of TikTok, but there are also some really crazy things, like QAnon, for example. If you're aware, I'm not going to get too deep into that, but I'm just saying,
What is that?
if you go down the rabbit hole and you think that you're doing well, and you think that you're, being proactive and being a responsible citizen just by like intaking information, you have to be really careful,
Yeah.
because you will go down a rabbit hole and you can become, maybe that thing called an insurrectionist.
A knob end in general.
Yeah, so you got to be careful, and you got to make sure you're not like in an echo chamber when you're intaking that information. I think that's very important to consider.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think it could potentially not be evil.
I feel like TikTok is good in moderation. Also, I feel like TikTok is not good for like younger kids though. I feel like that's where like the most biggest impact is made, like on the younger kids, because they're like, they don't know the right from wrong. So what they see on TikTok, they think it's always okay. Like if it's on there, it should be okay, which is not always like the truth,
Yeah, it's never that simple.
Impressionable brains it's scary to see, how even the generation kind of like a little bit younger than us, like people that are, just kind of starting to form opinions on worldly issues.
Oh yeah.
It's scary to think they could get that from an influencer.
Because I feel like, I mean, like for me, like when I was younger, like I mean, TikTok wasn't that. It was just Musically, but that was just your face and that was it. But now, like I see like teenagers like being like, I don't know if they feel like internally or externally, but more like pressure to be like look older, feel older, and just like be older. Because sometimes I'll see someone like, oh, she looks like she's 14. They're like, no, she's 8, and I'm just like, oh, and they're seeing all this stuff like scrolling on it, and they feel like they have to be these people now, instead of like waiting as they get older to mature and become themselves.
Absolutely.
Which is
so you feel like TikTok makes people try to mature faster?
Yeah, I think TikTok is like something that has an effect on it, but I think like peer pressure, like maybe from school and just people around them seeing their age mates do that too, probably affects it as well.
I don't know if it's entirely TikTok, but I think social media in general, with the need to adhere to what's popular and what you're supposed to look like, I think definitely plays a huge part in that.
Do you guys remember begging your parents for social media?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because I do.
I'm the youngest child, so like.
Same.
Yeah,
I
that makes
remember
sense.
having to pitch to my mom why I could like handle having a Snapchat account, and I was in the 6th grade, and all of my friends were using social media, and that's where, like, speaking to that peer pressure aspect, thinking that you need to have it because everybody else has it. Well, if you're that susceptible to wanting to follow trends to fit in, then
Maybe
absolutely you're going to follow more of those trends whenever you see it on your For You page, and that is scary to me.
Yeah, like I remember I used to make so many presentations for my parents just to like give them a reason why I can have something. But I don't think I got Snapchat until like 8th grade and Instagram till like 10th grade. Cause like I always saw my friends on it, and I just saw like A lot of like the online bullying stuff, because I would see like those Snapchat threads of people making fun of someone. I'd be like, oh. And it was kind of like scary, but at the same time, like that's the only place anyone around my age was talking on. So I felt left out a little bit, which did kind of hurt. But like growing up, I kind of see like I didn't really need it right then and there.
I remember the first time. Well, basically, when I got Snapchat, I was just like bored at home, so I like downloaded it on my phone. But I know I had to ask my mom to get an Instagram, and she didn't let me get it until like 7th or 8th grade. And going through that process of making an Instagram with my mom was like so weird because she told me stuff I could put and can't put, and then she monitored my Instagram account for like a while. So that was like weird to me.
Looking back, I wish my mom would have monitored my Instagram. Could have saved myself some embarrassment because as a child you think like, oh, it's fine.
This is
Like,
so cool.
like you don't realize.
Like-
And now looking back, I want to thank my mom for trying to get me to
Stay off.
yeah, and just like be a kid for as long as possible, but I definitely was kind of robbed out of some of my childhood. So thinking about kids that are downloading it in like fourth grade, like I could not imagine.
No, like still to this day, I go to my mom and be like, "Is this a good picture? You think this would be okay for me to post to my Instagram? Like, this is not weird, right?" And like, it's like go through so many steps. And then the Instagram archives I have are so bad. Like the pictures I used thought like I like looked so good in 8th grade. Like, oh, this looks fire.
What makes you feel like it isn't? What makes you doubt yourself now?
Well, just the way I looked, I had a giant forehead, had some glasses,
But where did you
had
think
my
that?
hair dyed. Followed the trend. Oh my gosh, guys, the blonde tips hair dye trend.
Oh.
Like when you dye your hair,
Yeah.
especially like because I was black, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be like Odell Beckham Jr. Nah, I did not look like Odell at all. It just did not work for me.
That's okay. We all make
Frosted
mistakes.
tips are like mullets. They were around back in the day and they don't need to come back.
Mullets are great,
Actually, I'm
especially if you have a
Okay.
curly hair
Yes.
mullet, like curly hair.
Oh yeah.
Those
It's
are
a
good.
hit or
That's
miss.
cool. See, okay, there's some trends. Like, if you look back to about, like, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s,
Oh, yeah.
maybe 2000s, trends, like came and went.
Mm-hmm.
That trends
Like-
will always be a thing.
Yeah.
But,
Bell bottoms are coming back. What are they? They're called like the flare pants.
Bell bottoms. I
but
love
like,
that
are
song.
people going to be dressing like e-girls and visco girls and stuff in, like, 20 years? I don't think so. Don't think so, because that's just, like...
Visco isn't even a thing anymore now. It lasted
Oh.
maybe a few
I
months.
still use
A lot of
like
girls have Visco. I've never used Visco in my life.
Visco's
Like
for
I don't get the
girls.
purpose.
Yeah, I didn't have it. But
See, like, there's some things that are less harmful than others.
yeah, that one was just, I think like people just, it was,
Actually, can we talk about Visco for a second?
Check out my Visco.
It was
No.
harmlessly stupid
But,
and
yeah.
annoying. Very annoying.
Because you can't, like, comment on somebody's picture. For a while, you
Yeah.
couldn't even interact with it. You just got to post your picture, and that was it. I think that was cool. Visco, you could just
Like-
take aesthetic pictures and
it was
post
like
it.
Aesthetic.
Pinterest. Okay, I love Pinterest, but we're
I've
not
never
getting
had
into that.
pictures.
But it was, I guess it was like, I don't know, just like aesthetic stuff.
Where do you guys think the
I
most
see.
useless like form of social media is? Mine is Facebook. I don't get Facebook. I don't have Facebook.
Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook's
Snapchat,
is for the
Snapchat.
Instagram, TikTok.
Facebook's.
I enjoy
All
Snapchat.
of
It's
them.
like,
I do, but like it's not really.
but it's like the same thing as texting people.
Yeah,
But like,
Then just text
Well,
them.
that's
You
the.
can have
you know how weird it is
international
to send pictures
friends,
over text,
so-
like a picture of your face over text.
But
Why are
why
we
would you
snapping
send
over
a
text?
like? Why would you send a picture of your face in the first place? Are you having a conversation? Probably
Sometimes
not.
that leads into a conversation.
Well,
Be like, you send a picture like, oh, what are you doing? Because maybe that like at a Chiefs game, like,
why not just
Okay, but
text somebody?
Snapchatters are such crappy photographers. They take a picture of their forehead and send it and call it a day.
That's a work of art.
I've never understand snapping. I don't.
I think. Well, let's talk about the fact that like
I feel like people that do what he just said are like or like insecure, and I feel like that's because of social media too.
you mentioned that earlier. You were like, I feel pressured to like look good in every snap. So
Oh,
why?
that is true. Like you never know what's gonna happen when you send that Snapchat. They could be about a dozen people.
So guess what happens when you don't have to take a picture of your face to communicate with somebody? You're not worried about how you look all the time, and you can communicate. Whoa.
I don't know. That's why I hate snapping people.
I think we should all ban Snapchat. Have
I
you
enjoy Snapchat.
I
I'm
don't
so
think you
sorry,
need to
guys. I
ban
can't
it to
ban
choose to
Snapchat.
not use it.
not ban? I mean personally. Like, have you guys ever taken a break from social media before?
I
this?
delete Snapchat all the time.
I delete Snapchat. Like I deleted for a month because I was bored. And I
For a
was just
month is
tired of it.
wild. I'd take like a 3-day detox.
I was just tired of Snapchat.
Try 4 months over the summer.
Oh, I cannot. Because here's the thing. That's like how I text all my friends. Like the group
That-
chats and all that, I will miss out if I delete Snapchat. That's the only reason keeps me like there.
That's my only problem because that's where everyone texts, and it's hard to get people off of that.
Be
Yeah.
a trendsetter.
I
Start
remember,
my
but like
message.
what I do for my Snapchat to like make me stay off of it, I turn off all notifications. So like I don't know when anybody texts me at all.
So, like, for me, platforms like, say, Discord, which is what I use, that is my main way to communicate with people for, say, a school project because my Verizon hasn't been fixed yet.
Can you explain Discord actually? I've
Yeah.
never used it and
So-
I don't know.
It's kind of a catch-all platform, right? You get servers for a given topic. Let's say you're really into, name a game real quick.
Sally face.
Let's say you're really into Sally Face and you know a bunch of buddies who are also into it.
It's an indie game.
I have no
What's
idea
it,
what it
video
is. I'm just
game?
running with
2K.
this.
Sorry.
Okay. What is? It's supernatural. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm just running with it. I have no idea what Sally Face is. Let's continue. We digress, as always. Let's say you know a lot of people who are really into Sally Face. You put them together in a Discord server. You're able to discuss Sally Face or just meet new people. You have a general topic to create a server via Discord around, and it becomes something more. Then there are other stuffs. I met a buddy in my theater class who later introduced me to a Discord server that was meant for people they met on VR chat. Slowly just became a group chat with extra bits. Again, it's catch-all platform. It's private messaging, but also not. I mostly use it for private messaging because, again, my Verizon hasn't yet been fixed.
Question. Have you ever met somebody on a VR? Whatever.
I don't have virtual reality. I had VR chat for like a few weeks, and then because of my crappy computer, it can't work anymore.
Do you
I-
ever talk to strangers on there?
No, just with people I know.
Do you know people that do talk to strangers on Discord?
Yes, a lot of them.
What is that relationship like? I know we mentioned parasocial relationships before, but as somebody who's never had one, what
I
does that
have a
look like?
couple buddies who are actively in an online relationship right now, like online romantic relationship, and apparently it's going really well for them. I'm happy for them.
Have they
It's-
met the
That is
person?
wild.
To me, respectfully, all due respect, that sounds awesome. But
That's
that is
like I have to like
crazy.
I'm like scared like what if they're not actually them, you know? Like
Yeah,
like
Well,
catfish.
I think with online relationships, there's a certain amount of information that, regardless how much you trust them, you don't divulge unless you've met them in person.
absolutely.
And
Like-
of course, online, like we were talking about this before, well, not before we start rolling. This man is always recording, but before this episode is probably going to start in post, how social media has not so much ruined our lives and our relationships as it has
Evolve.
evolved them.
I would like to also like what do you say like you find friends like on social media all the time. Like me growing up, I know I used to play this I used to play like 2K Madden all the time like on the PS5, PS4 back then. And then you end up talking to those people a lot that you meet online. And they actually like end up becoming your friends. Like I remember I used to talk to this guy every single day. But like my cousin knew him, so like it wasn't like a random person. And his name was Gabe. And like we just talk about everything. Like he was like my therapist. And I just like I don't know. It
Well,
was just great, you know.
I'll say, like, as someone, like, I don't post public or, like, private information about me online, but I do have several friends online that I've never met in my life.
Yeah.
And it's still a very close friendship, even if I don't know who they are in person.
Most of the people I know online that I'm buddies with that I don't know in person, I know by proxy via the buddy I met in theater class. They're a friend of a friend, so I, in a way, still trust them, and I can build a rapport with them over time. Yeah, I trust my friend to trust that these people aren't monsters. Right? There's a natural level of trust that comes with everything we do. Meeting people in real life, there's always going to be a risk about that, but we do it anyway. I don't see why online it's any different.
To be completely honest, I don't Because aside from obviously sharing personal information like your real name or where you live and stuff,
Yeah, I feel like that's
I
something like you should never.
that's I feel like that's definitely a line you should not cross. But I feel like people stigmatize talking to people online so much when you don't know who everyone in your real life is either.
Yeah.
There's just as much chance that the person in your real life isn't a good person as there is people online.
Yeah.
You just maybe don't have a face to put to it.
I, as somebody who has never experienced that kind of, I've just really never talked to anybody online that I don't know. I'm pretty sure, which is kind of, it's just terrifying. The thought of me like talking to somebody and never knowing, like, I don't know, is this person being genuine? Because my question is social media, like, I know you can really fabricate a lot of things about yourself and your personality, and I'm somebody who appreciates like a genuine, like, face-to-face, like, we kind of just bounce off of each other. There's no like, oh, I can half swipe this text and decide how to respond to it. Like, you just gotta know off the cuff.
Some texts be dangerous though.
That's what I
Some texts
mean.
be really dangerous to not half swipe.
It's just, I just personally think,
I will half swipe my mom if I have to.
well, I think that's a personal issue.
It's like some texts would be like, how do I respond to this? Give me 30 more minutes to think about it.
I just don't see that as a useful tool in day-to-day interaction. But that being said, day-to-day interaction is changing completely, like with our society, with social media. Like, it's not going away. The internet and the way that works is not going away. We just have to learn how to adapt to that in a healthy way. But me personally, I'm going to play the grandma here and say that that's not my preferred style of communication, and that's okay. Yeah. Good for you guys, because that is something that maybe I'm just scared of. Maybe I'm just scared of change.
And that's fine. It's based on each individual person. Like, I, for instance, I can't tell when people are being genuine in real life because I'm not good at social cues. So it doesn't really make a difference whether it's online or in person for me because I can't tell either way. So there's a lot of trust I'm going to have to put in someone regardless, so it doesn't matter.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of it like that, honestly.
Yeah.
Without...
So it just depends on the own, like, person and their experiences with social interactions, so.
Like with most things, it's nuanced.
Yeah.
Everything is.
Yeah.
You know?
Call back to a phrase we've used throughout this video, it is never that simple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. There's always some kind of other side to the argument.
Copy out.
I think it's very helpful that we all kind of have different experiences with the use of social media and, like, just how often we use it, you know, like how we use it. So it's interesting to hear that point of view.
What are some trends that social media have, like, brought up, like people do, like, follow all the time that you guys don't like? Like, me personally, I'm into fashion, and one fashion thing I hate is jorts. I hate when people wear jorts. Like, jorts are not okay. I mean, there's, like, 2 times I've seen outfits with people with jorts, like, okay, they look fine, but usually jorts, jean shorts are, like go down to your knee. Like, go down here.
I like
First of all,
those.
the biggest mistake the fashion industry ever made, besides the existence of the fashion industry, was calling them jorts.
Oh, yeah.
Jorts are
What
wild.
happened to
They did
shorts?
not bring
Jeggings
that on
is
themselves.
fine.
Just name.
That's just a nickname.
Also, just long shorts in general are an ick. Like, that goes past your
Capri
knee.
pants.
Okay, can we talk about the fact
You're
that,
fine.
like,
It doesn't go past your knee. You're fine. But, like, if
Well,
like, it
I
goes
have
past
some
your knee-
shorts that go past my knee, and it's comfortable.
Burn them.
you
I feel
haven't
like
seen
that, like,
everybody
it's
in a pair of
comfortable.
It rubs your
What,
knee
are you
hairs
Victoria
in
Mann?
weird
You can't show
ways.
your
You
knees?
cannot.
It means that my knees don't have to worry about the wind that is constantly
Do
happening
you also
in
cover your
Missouri.
ankles so people don't stare at your ankles?
This is crazy to
Just
me.
wear pants.
I
Because
wear sweat.
I'm thinking,
He is
Poor
doing the West
modest
banging
man
his
with
head
your
on the
knees
wall.
out.
have you seen everyone in a pair of jorts? Like, you don't know what I look like in a pair of jorts. You don't know what Barack Obama looks like in a pair of jorts. Maybe he really
Slay.
pulls them off.
You never
Oh
know.
my God.
Why would you say that
Some
they're just
people get pulled off,
immediately
but a lot
Barack
of-
Obama in a pair of
A lot
jorts.
of people
see
be
that.
thinking they put it on. They don't be putting it on for, like, I don't know what they be wearing. Like,
Hey.
it'd be, like, weird.
and that's
But-
okay.
Talking
But
about
They can also like it. You
they
don't have
enjoy
to.
it.
Right.
I know they can
You
enjoy
don't,
it, but,
and that's
like,
a
Another
personal
thing.
choice.
People are acting like they have opinions of what other people do.
No,
That's
tell
like
out,
a
tell out. You guys are
huge
acting like I go up to them and be like, I shun you.
I'm
That's
not-
me.
I'm not
I'm
trying
trying
to
to
call
about
you
out.
social
Me.
media because like if you see someone wear an outfit, if you go to the comments, it's like half of them are gassing them and telling them, "Oh, that looks stupid. Like, why are you wearing that?" And like, it's a whole problem. Like, if someone wants to wear that, let them wear that. It's really not affecting you.
Like
Just
how
close
we
your eyes.
mentioned, like
Why
the
you guys make it sound like
immediate,
a
like
bully? Oh
people
my
just like state their opinion without anybody asking them to. That's one thing I really don't enjoy about social media. It's just people get to just say what they want about what you're doing. It's like, who asked? Who cares? I don't. I'm gonna do what I want to do if I like it, and I don't really need anybody projecting their insecurities onto me. So
Of course, that is something that happens just as much in real life because
That's
the thing is, I think people are a lot more comfortable hiding behind a screen
Amen.
and saying their opinions, and I think that is something that we could do without.
of course they're
Now, if
gonna
you would
be-
come up to me and you would say, "Hey, that looks stupid. Those jorts look terrible on you."
I've never made fun of anybody over like George like in the comment section ever.
Well,
I'm just saying,
anyway.
me personally, I don't like the jorts.
Okay,
That's fair.
we've said our piece about jorts.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
I don't know.
No, please continue.
You're very
about
passionate
jorts.
about jorts.
I'm saying that now, like I don't want to build an outfit with jorts one day. But listen, it's just like some of them are like okay, and then some of them are good. But like it's like
Yeah.
pulling it off is hard.
Is there anybody?
That's what makes it like challenging.
Have you ever tried jorts?
No, but I've tried my first pair of like not it's like khaki shorts, but like they're not short.
I'm gonna take the
Short.
liberty of adjusting the topic away from
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
words of the great philanthropist Coca-Cola, you gotta try it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try out jorts. I'll get back to you guys on the next week on the podcast.
All right, cool.
Is there anybody?
You have to wear jorts to one of
Yeah,
our shows.
wear it to
you
the
have to
podcast.
now.
I will take a picture of you so you can't escape it, and it'll haunt you forever.
No, I look.
And
good.
we will take that picture in landscape, not portrait,
New
because that is
topic.
my thing.
It'll forever
guys
be
are
on the
killing me
internet
right now.
topic.
New
Guys,
topic.
this one's
Lay
Change
the
the topic.
jorts to
New
rest.
topic.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
No, you're fine. I think it was really funny. I didn't have an opinion on jorts before this, and now I guess I do. So thank you for that. Is there anybody that you feel like influences you on social media that like immediately comes to mind?
ASAP Rocky. Oh, I'm sorry. I look at social media for like fashion and stuff.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay,
Carson
yeah, that
is
makes-
influenced by
yeah.
ASAP Rocky. Who's next?
I don't have a specific person.
I don't have anyone. Most social media
Yeah,
I
I really
use is
try
private
not to
messaging.
like someone, like at least a single person. I mean, like I like good makeup stuff, but that's it.
I like that answer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys,
I mean-
the only reason why I look like ASAP
No,
Rocky,
but that's
I
a
like
good-
looking at people's styles
Yeah.
and stuff.
Hey, that's
That's a
okay.
good
It's okay if
I'm
you like
influenced by
something.
Tyler the Creator.
I mean, I guess Sellsword Arts has influenced how I view fight choreography in action films.
See, that's cool. That's
It's
cool.
better than mine. I said fashion. You
That's
talking
like
about something
inspiration
actually
for
pretty cool.
art. Like that's a healthy
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Although now I can't use the dagger in Assassin's Creed 2 because he uses reverse grip on it. So now
I've never played that game, but that sounds enticing.
it's really good. You get to run around in Florence and Venice. It's really cool.
Two cities I love.
Yes.
You just sold
and
me.
during the Italian Renaissance
Oh.
as well.
Fun.
I've
Yes.
only watched people.
My brother played it and got stuck on the ship every time and quit the game at that point. So
Okay,
I never
that's
played it.
Black Flag. That's or Rogue. Rogue probably because that was glitchier.
I think I might have been negatively influenced not to play video games
Why?
because there's a weird stigma around like I think the gamer stereotype, and
Okay.
that came from TikTok.
What
for
gamer
me.
stereotype?
There's like a whole girls
The
gamer
stereotype that
was
gamers
a
are
whole
racist
issue
snobbins.
for like a month, I guess.
Like performative, like over sexualization,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Yeah.
There was
You
also
know-
like people like got like trashing every girl gamer for like a little bit.
And you know, those people do exist. They're all knobs. But like
So
with all
critical of it,
stereotypes,
Bobby.
it is unnecessary.
they're all
right?
knobs.
Nothing is ever that simple.
Okay.
Unless
like
it's a
that.
Call of Duty lobby, they will.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Don't go
I
in
don't
Call of
deal
Duty,
with Call
yeah.
of Duty, so
Yeah. If you go in there and you're in voice chat, you're gonna get mauled.
I believe it. Same
God.
You know,
But yeah.
like with the PUBG lobby, apparently I don't play that either, but apparently those lobbies are one man is standing constantly. It is a brawl.
See, I've never played a video game other than like Mario Kart. I don't know.
Okay, Mario Kart is a banger.
That's amazing.
Well, it was a great time. I didn't own it myself. It just at birthday parties I would go play it with them, and it was awesome because I was sheltered. My mom wouldn't let me play video games or watch SpongeBob. But at my dad's house on the
Oh.
weekends, I would sneak watching SpongeBob because my mom said it wasn't informational.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
my
So
That sucks.
I really just never thought about playing video games, but sometimes I feel left out because like right now, I want to know what you're talking about. I want to be in on the joke. Like I'm just not familiar, and it makes me sad.
It's okay. I didn't know anything about social media until 2.5 years ago.
You don't want to know about
I
the
think
by
you're
the
better
way,
off that way. I'm
chats.
jealous.
Yeah.
I wish that was my outcome.
I felt bad because anytime anyone make any joke about like anything social media, which you don't realize how common that is, I would not know what was happening.
Yeah.
And
I
by the
didn't
way-
know who like any popular music artist was either.
That's kind of crazy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You didn't know
you're
Drake?
right. You have an
I didn't
interesting
know who Drake
perspective
was.
then.
I still don't know who Drake is.
face was wild.
That's such a lie. You have to.
I know of Drake. I know the name, and I know he makes music. That is all I know.
Yeah.
Consider yourself lucky. I'm
What?
just kidding.
You don't
He's
like Drake?
actually I have no beef with Drake. I just want to say
My dad,
something like
absolutely hates
sassy.
him for no
There we
reason.
go.
I
And
love
Kanye.
Aubrey.
He hates him and Kanye.
Well, Kanye's deservable. Okay,
Kanye's annoying.
guys,
Well,
guys.
Kanye got a
anti-Semitic.
platform through
Yes.
Twitter, and it
Yes.
turned him into a
A meme.
POS. And that's one thing that I hate Twitter for. It's not Twitter's fault, but like it gives people this platform to have a soapbox about anything they
Yes.
want, and they just get to rant, and it's
And they
like
amplify
nobody
that
cares
on
about
Twitter
your
is
opinion.
its own monster.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Its own little
That-
cesspool.
yeah.
of
Elon
insanity.
Musk.
And on the note of that whole informational thing, I just want to give a message to the audience. Get good enough at film analysis so you can say anything is informational and go into a rant about great character development.
As a baby film kid who's just getting into film, that was
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
I used to be in drama class.
Did you like it?
No, it was like, I don't know. It was like this year, first semester. It was like weird though, because
Why was it weird?
I don't know. They do warm ups. Everybody's so used to it, and I'm there trying to do it. It was just so like I wasn't. They liked us. It was like, me and my friend because we're like everybody there was in like the drama clique at SMA.
Was Will Sullivan part of that?
No, it wasn't.
Off
Will.
topic, but
I feel like
guys.
we're all over the place.
There's a
Yeah.
friend of mine named Will Sullivan.
We're always
who-
all over the
I'm
place.
sorry, I have
This is us we're
ADHD.
talking about.
I
I have this friend, the friend that I just name dropped, Will Sullivan. He is playing Regina George in Mean Girls, and I think that's a great thing.
What?
And he wouldn't have gotten that opportunity if he didn't get to express himself openly in places like theater and social media. Because I remember he got crazy over COVID, and he started really just doing his thing. He made dancing videos, and everybody's like, okay, Will. And look at him now. He's the lead in Mean Girls at a
Congrats,
Catholic
Will.
school,
Good job, Will. Oh, yeah.
and he's
Oh,
openly
wow.
gay.
He goes to SMA.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Should
about.
we do like an ending question?
Why did I confuse Mean
Yeah.
Girls with Heathers?
They're kind of similar, to be honest with you. Just yeah. Okay.
Still need to watch
What's a
that.
good?
Do you
ending
have
question?
a good? Do you have a thought for the ending question?
Yes, so this is just like a general question, but how do you guys think social media affect your like maturity as like growing up? Like, shaped it.
Well, for me personally, I look at social media, but like I don't take it all the way too seriously because I know people like on there to like troll or like try to get at you, and like sometimes they do say something. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So like it makes me open up my eyes like to stuff like people usually don't talk about because sometimes they bring those bigger problems and issues to social media. So that's like how I get informed sometimes about like big problems, but like overall, social media has not like affected me totally as a person. Except for like I feel like it's weird like especially like if you want to try to do social media, how like people around you like trying to make fun of you for it or something.
That is true.
I think my experiences with social media has taught me to be more steadfast. It's helped me to expand not only saying what I mean, but say it well. The ability to, when I go into a rant over, say, Discord, I have the ability to edit and re-edit and make sure everything I say is the best put possible. Normally, it takes me at least a day to rehearse a good rant. I'm serious. But I think it has taught me to get better at stuff like oratory or being more steadfast, being more honest, knowing where I stand on important stuff. It's also gotten me to learn a lot, like that habeas corpus fat joke thing. True story.
Sorry. I kind of agree where, I mean, like I said, social interaction isn't overly different for me in person than it is online because I can't tell people's intentions regardless. But I feel like it's helped me be more straightforward with what I'm saying and where I'm just more blatant about what I'm like trying to communicate instead of just talking around it because
So like self-expressive.
yeah, I think it's just made it easier for me.
I would like to also add that social media made me like realize like I have no room to judge anybody because like you never know what somebody's going through. It's like every time like now like I used to be like a judgmental person, but now like it's your life and like do what you want to do. But like if like I don't like it or like if I just want to like heavily associate with you, but like I won't look at you like any less of a person just because like what you like doing or like anything like that.
Me personally, I think that social media, more than anything, has turned me into a critical thinker. And by that, I mean, I don't judge people, I feel like as easily as I might have well, this is kind of it's a double-sided kind of question. How has it affected my maturity? Because for me to become more mature because of social media, I had to kind of see my own immaturity whenever I was using it without realizing how damaging it could be. And, it's taught me to ask questions about where is this coming from? Does this person know what they're talking about? Also questions that are more introspective, like, do I really care about what this random stranger would think about my face in this video that I enjoyed, like, making? Like, does it really need to matter? And it's just kind of, allow me to think things through before I decide to let somebody else's opinion infect my opinion of myself, if that makes sense.
I feel like it did like the same thing for me, like be sympathetic towards others, but also like, especially like towards the end of COVID, coming out of it, I really looked back at how social media affected me, and it made me like do a whole like retake about how I want to have social media in my life, because I feel like it had too much of a grip over every thought and decision I made. So it's kind of made me like more independent and just like trying to form my own minds and thoughts and opinions.
Snaps, that was so good. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed our conversation about social media and its effects on us
Very
individually.
all over the place conversation.
Yeah.
Can I do a YouTube ending? And yo, thank you for everybody for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Like,
Hit the
subscribe,
bell.
comment, leave a
Hit the
like, share
bell.
with your friends, share with your mom, grandma. All right, see you guys later.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Hail to the proud, hail to you all. We're done here.
Wow. I Can Relate is brought to you by Lee Summit Cares. Lee Summit Cares is a local nonprofit led by an advisory board of local teens focusing on helping youth development positive relationships and creating a culture of physical and mental wellness in the community. I Can Relate is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or most of your favorite podcast apps. This podcast is a production of Fredcast. Think, speak, act.